Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me in this video today. So today's topic is around building faith in the Lord. Now, how do you wake up on one morning and say, I'm going to believe in God today? It's probably not that easy as I would make it out to be. So, if you were asked to believe in this God who is invisible, who is intangible, and you have no idea how this God would actually be relevant in your life. This video is actually my own personal testimony of how I was able to build that over about 2 decades. Okay, so if you're interested to know how it all worked out for me, I'm going to take you back to 2006. So that in that year, I was in a particular situation where I was displaced from my family and I was sent to stay in a convent where I studied my year 11, 12, and bachelor's. And during that time, I was quite tight on resources. So my pocket money wasn't too much. My expenses were met by the convent, by my family, but the convent actually, provided food and all of those things. And I found myself in a very sticky spot because I came from a point of quite an affluence, and now I'm finding myself in the opposite side of that realm. So during one day, I particularly remember this incident where I was craving for a chocolate. Sounds trivial, but the craving was quite intense for me. And I'm somebody who likes a treat, probably every day. So I was craving for a piece of chocolate. And that craving actually was so deep inside me, it actually made me feel so upset that I have come to a point in my life where I can't even afford to buy a piece of chocolate on my own. Okay, so you can see how the craving then translates into negative thoughts, and the negative thought were then just driving me into an insane mode of, this is all, life is so cruel kind of moment. I know, right? So what can a chocolate do to you? So in that moment in desperation, I was like, okay, I'm in a convent. It's all about Christian faith, values, and whatnot. And I wanted to know, will this God who says he is going to provide, he loves me and all of that, can he hear my prayer? Okay, I'm going to test it out. I really want to know if it's all true. So I prayed a prayer where I said, Lord, if you can hear me, I really want a piece of chocolate and I don't have the money to buy this. So if you can hear me, answer this prayer today. Yeah, I need timelines, right? I was arrogant probably at that point, but just stay with me on the story. So I prayed that prayer in the morning, and then I went my way in the business. The craving didn't go away, so I kind of was just dragging myself through the whole day because I was getting a bit resentful about how my circumstances were. And when I came back from school that day, one of my dorm friends, so she was staying in the same, space like me. She came to me and she said, "Hey Twinkie, do you like chocolates?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Of course, I do love chocolates." And she's like, her dad had just come from Dubai, that region, and he had a whole heap of chocolates that he had given to her. Now, because she gets some sort of breakouts or acne issues when she consumes chocolate, she just thought she'll ask me if I wanted some of that. And you won't believe it. I prayed for one piece of chocolate, right, in the morning. She just took a whole heap of chocolate in her hand, and she just put it onto my bed and said, "You can have all these chocolates. It's all yours. I just hope you enjoy it." And she just walks away. Now I'm looking at this whole stash of chocolate sitting on my bed, and I'm like, I was quite speechless, to be honest. And I thought, well, I thought I prayed for one piece of chocolate, but this is going to probably last me every single day for the rest of the month, if I can say it that way. And that's when I started thinking, oh my God listens. Like that moment of revelation that even in the most trivial of things, he understood that this piece of chocolate would be the game changer in me stepping into this journey of believing him, even the tiniest of things. Now, from there, every single step of the way, I was actually quite interested and thrilled to seek him in everything that I did. So I would say, Lord, I would really love a new, pair of clothes or something of that sort for my birthday. And I don't have the money to buy it. You know why? So I would really love, this shade and, this specifics or something of that sort. And I started to see how beautifully he would, meet me at that place. There were times when there was a prolonged wait. There were times when the things that I wanted were not given in the same shape or form that I expected it to come, but it was close enough. And through all of that experiences, I was able to build a relationship with an invisible God. Now, even though he's invisible to my eyes, he's not invisible to my heart. When I tried to build faith in him, I started to realize who my Father is. And with that, his mercies will follow. So times when he says yes to my prayers, and there are many times when he doesn't say yes at all. He doesn't even say no. There is just a maybe sometimes. And through all of that efforts, I was able to build that faith step by step. Now, as I grew older and I moved to Australia and all of that, from trusting with a bar of chocolates or a piece of chocolate, I was then able to trust him on bigger things. My faith actually started taking, one step higher approach. And it's more like somebody who goes to the gym. First time you go, you can take 1 kilo, half a kilo maybe of weight. Second time you go, you can do more. And as time goes by, a few years later, you might be able to lift a lot more heavier weights. And that's the beauty about organically building a relationship with God. Trusting him in the day-to-day activities. Trusting him with, finding a car park in a busy shopping center. Take baby steps. It doesn't have to be a huge thing before you trust him. Now, when you trust him with the little things, the beauty is that he's able to connect with you at that level, even if it's that trivial. And I would advocate for people to just pray for things like you're going to the supermarket, ask for things like you have $100, if you have $100, ask God to bless that $100 so that he can stretch much more than that. And it happened to me just yesterday. I went to the supermarket and I said, Lord, I'm on a budget and I need all of these things on my shopping list for, $100 something. And when I left the checkout, I actually was able to buy the same value with a much lesser price out of my pocket. How? It's his way of actually meeting me there. Now, I have seen him move in different ways, so it's easier for me to trust him. And when things don't happen, I don't take that as a rejection. I just know that his will is higher than what I prayed for, than what I was expecting to happen. Now, once you get through all of that phase of building a relationship with this invisible God, you have a history with God. You have a story or a journey that you can be proud of, where you can say, I have seen God move in that way. And I can say about this and I can say about that. It is a collection of beautiful gems of stories and testimonies that it's all yours. No one can claim, authority or, glory over it, because it's your personal testimony and no one can take that away from you. So I am proudly building more and more testimonies and faith nuggets along the way every single day. And I think when my kids pray for things like they want a toy for Christmas or they want something for their birthday, I can tell them, you know what? Back in the day, I trusted for a piece of chocolate. Why don't you pray about this? And when they see it come into fruition, that's when they realize, wow, I prayed about this and it has come to pass. And they just quite overwhelmed with how is this even possible kind of realm, where I can then encourage them. Let's move into the next level of faith journey. Are we ready? And then they can, tag along in that. So my history with God started with that piece of chocolate. And I hope that you will be, encouraged to start trusting him in the little, so that he can then entrust you with bigger testimonies in the future, and then become trailblazers for him in the future too. So I hope this has been encouragement for you. But until next time, stay blessed and I'll catch you then. See ya. Bye.